Are gay parents as good as heterosexual parents? There you go, there's a question for you. With same-sex marriages proving to be a very divisive issue at the moment, it is a question worth asking, because recently film star Rupert Everett, who he came out about 20 years ago, his mum has said that, a child, he has said a child needs a mummy and a daddy, which has really upset gay rights groups. And he said a lot of other things besides. I can't, something like I can't think of a worse nightmare than having two fathers, or something like that. Barrie Drewitt and his partner Tony Drewitt-Barlow is run the Surrogacy Centre in Essex. They have children. They are in a civil partnership, and Barrie and Tony join me now. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What do you think about Rupert Everett then? Tony, to start with.
Oh, Barrie, you start. Yeah, you've caught me on the hop now. You're going to get real right from me here now. I think he's a bit of an idiot, actually, because I really do.
Why?
I think for a gay man to say something so profound in the Sunday Times almost puts back the whole equality cause 10 years, as far as I'm concerned. And how can somebody make an opinion like that when they're not in that situation? He's never grown up with gay parents. He doesn't have any children himself. How can he make that statement that he could never think of anything worse? We live in that environment. We're two gay guys, been together 25 years, have 5 wonderful kids.
Now?
5, yes.
Wow.
The most well-balanced, amazing kid you could ever wish to meet. So,
Oh, he's just a posh puff.
there you go.
Who's that?
Not me.
That horrible man,
Rupert Everett.
Rupert Everett. He's just a posh puff. He's trying to keep his mummy really happy. She's 70, telling him, well, I've just met your boyfriend for the first time. I'm really happy that you come out, but I still would rather you be with a woman having grandkids for me. So he's
And
trying
that's
to
what
appease
she
his
said,
mum.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. And so he's saying, well, I don't even think there's a gay community. I don't belong to a gay community. I'm just me, and I don't think there's anything right in two dads at all. What an idiot.
Yeah, I remember when I first met Barrie in 1987, my mum said to me, the first thing she said when I came out as being gay with Barrie is, I'm never going to have any grandkids from you.
Yeah.
All these years later, she's got 5.
But you see, a lot of people would say, well, nature says that there must be a mummy and a daddy, and that's what nature's right.
Nature says when you're a diabetic, then you should die because you shouldn't have an insulin injection. Nature says when you have a bad heart, don't take medication for it, have a heart attack at 50 and die, don't live till you're 80. Nature says lots of things, but we can deal with nature and overcome nature, and fertility is one of those things that medicine allows us to overcome.
Right. Yeah. How do you give the same sort of balance of attention, shall we say, that a heterosexual man and woman could give to a family, Barrie?
Yeah, I think it's difficult. I mean, we're lucky because my parents actually live with me and Tony, so I've got my mum in the house. And
so there is a female influence there?
In our house there is, but in lots of same-sex relationships around the country where lots of people have children, there isn't, and they manage absolutely perfectly well. We've got to remember that our kids go to just a normal school where there's lots of female role models there. We have other female role models within our own families, aunties and sisters and grandmothers, all the rest of it. There is the influence. We're not bringing our kids up as gay men saying, you never speak to a woman and they're horrible creatures.
Well, you see, that it's interesting you should bring that out, because a lot of people think that if you're a child and you're being looked after by a gay couple, if you're male, or female, that will automatically make you gay.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what you've got to remember is that all us gay people were brought up by all you heterosexual people. My parents were straight, My kids' parents are gay. It doesn't mean that my kids are going to be gay because we are. It just means that we're more open to them coming out and being whoever they want to be.
I'll be happy when we get to the generation that doesn't have this gay parenting, straight parenting. We're just parents.
One of the things that you've got to remember, I think, is that if all the heterosexuals in the world have a huge issue with us gay people all the time, and they want to, say it's a phase we're going through or whatever, you're breeding us. We are the product of your union with your heterosexual partner. And, we didn't ask to be born gay. We are gay.
Let me say going back to the children, one of the things is that with particularly me and Barrie and gay guys is children don't come by accident. You don't have sex on a Friday night and by the way I'm pregnant. It's a well-planned process. So our children are special kids and they're really wanted by us.
Because you made that quite a difficult decision.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't easy for you to actually have those.
You know, and there are hundreds of people now going through the process of surrogacy or home inseminations for co-parenting and what have you. There are shows now. The Building Families show in April next year at the Metropole in London it's a big exhibition of all these different places where same-sex couples and heterosexual couples can go to talk about their infertility issues and about having a family. So there's a need there because these other organisations are meeting those needs.
Yeah,
what makes a good family setup, do you think, from your perspective, being two gay guys?
You know, it's one word, and people band it around all the time. It's love. If you've got love in a family, that's all children want, and you get that unconditional love back from children. All they want is somebody to look up to, a role model, and love. And when you have that for your partner, like me and Barrie have for each other, that filters right down to the rest of the family. And I look at our children, and we're blessed for our kids. And at the end of the day, people say it's the interest of the child. My children aren't compromised in any way whatsoever. I know my children are lucky because I know what I'd be like if I had parents like me and Barrie. We protect them, we love them, we feed them, we're there for them. What more could a child want?
What about the effect of the rest of society? You know, when they go to school, I can't remember how old they are.
I just think the rest of society are mad.
Come on,
Surrounded by idiots. Come on.
Because when they're at school and as they grow up and they get into their teens, how old are the oldest?
They'll be 13 in December. Won't they?
13.
Nearly.
So I mean, I can't believe it.
I know.
How do
now
they?
You're feeling old.
Quite.
They'll be taking your driving licence and mine away from us soon.
Thank you. How do they deal with the other kids at school? And when they say, you got two guys
Do you know
as
what?
your
Our
parents.
house at the weekends, like some youth camp
Yeah.
with sleepovers from my daughter, from our oldest son. They have all the friends over. They go out and stay at their friends and what have you. Honestly, it's like, good night, Jim Bob.
It's a
every night.
wonderful. You know, when people talk about the traditional family, it's a wonderful family, and the only difference is the two heads of it are two guys. That's
So
the
they
only
didn't
difference.
get bullied at school when they were
Not at all.
younger or anything like that?
There was lots of rumours in the press, the press pick up on all sorts of stupid things, but the reality is that no, they don't actually get overly bullied. People ask questions and quite rightly so, and they're not embarrassed to answer them.
I say to them, what do your friends think of us? And all he ever says is they think you're really cool.
Right.
He stands up, my son, he's just going to be 13 this year, he stands up in conferences in front of hundreds of people to talk about being the product, if you like, of a gay relationship and how it makes him feel, what it's like at school, and he's really well balanced, actually.
Do you think they've had too much media attention?
I think we didn't, at the very beginning, we didn't ask for media attention. It happened. It was front page of the Mail, and before you know it, we managed it. And you either manage it by going underground, and then everybody goes, oh yeah, I told you those gays, deviants, or you manage it by coming across as being hopefully normal kinds of guys, and the only difference is we're gay. That's what we decided to do. And I think by doing that, we never set out to be trailblazers, but we are blazing a trail for lots of people. And you think of Elton John, who wouldn't even come out as gay at once. He was married to Kiki D. Now he's gay. Now he's gay with a husband and kids.
You look at them and you say, well, everybody's really happy that he and his partner, but people wouldn't be so happy if it was someone like Gary Glitter, who's a convicted paedophile. And unfortunately, surrogacy is open for abuse as well. So it just needs to be policed a lot better for us.
What do you think about? I'm sorry, I'm going off on a complete tangent here, but what do you think about the question I mentioned in my introduction? That's marriage.
Yes.
What's your view on that?
Well, we're Christians and we go to our local church in Danbury, and we're there whenever we can be, and we would like to be married by our local.
You would.
I still feel that the fact that I can't legally marry my partner, we're one of the few sections of society now that is legally discriminated against. If I had a physical or mental handicap, if I was black or old or young, I cannot be discriminated against by law. At the moment, as a gay man, I am, and I don't choose this lifestyle. So a lot of people say, well, you chose to be gay. I didn't choose to be gay. I am gay. It's like saying you chose to be black or white, or you chose to have one leg. We are who we are at the end of the day. And it's about acceptance and tolerance and respect in society. And that's all we ask for.
So your religious faith would dictate that you would really like to get married, would you?
Yeah. I feel like I'm living in sin at the moment. I'd have been stoned for just that years ago, let alone being gay.
There's nothing I would like better than to stand up in my church in Danbury with my rector and have him marry me in the eyes of God. Absolutely.
Do you think it'll happen?
Yeah, I do. I
Eventually
actually
it
do.
will.
When you lobby Parliament long enough, and
I
you
don't know
put
if
a
you can
chorus
remember
over.
all those years ago when we first hit the press. It was like we were like Satan's children.
Oh, yes.
They wanted to burn burning effigies of us on the garden path. You know, it was terrible. We had to build a 6-foot fence around our house in
Yes,
Danbury
we did.
with a great big
Yeah,
electric
we did.
gate because we had the press rooting through our bins for our rubbish. It was terrible.
Well, you look where we are now in
Life's completely
2012
different.
to where we were when we first had Aspirin Saffron in 1999.
Yeah.
And hopefully we've had a small part in making that happen. And if we can do that in another 10 years, and it's not about gay rights, it's about equality. It's about everybody having the same rights. That's
You know
what
what?
it's
We
about.
actually work with as many heterosexual couples as we do with gay couples.
Absolutely.
So, Rupert Everett, forget it.
Yeah.
It's just a posh puff. I'm sick of it already.
Thank you very much indeed, Barrie Drewitt and Tony Drewitt-Barlow. Thank you very much indeed for coming in today
You're
and
welcome.
joining us.